By this time, we know the Japs are licked. They must know it, too. There's still strong resistance. Nip-suicide snipers tie themselves up in the trees and take pot shots at us. We hit them, but they don't fall. Just die and hang there. Sometimes we actually have to dig the Japs out of their holes. The island is infested with buried pillboxes, many of them still crawling with Japs. These bunkers were so constructed that heavy shelling and demolition charges failed to crumble them. Many of them were over 20 feet deep.
As I stand here today, having taken the solemn oath of office, in the presence of my fellow countrymen, in the presence of our God, I know that it is America's purpose that we shall not fail. In the days and the years that are to come, we shall work for a just and honorable peace, a durable peace, as today we work and fight for total victory in war. We can and we will achieve such a peace.
Driving through terrific storms, task forces of the Pacific Fleet roam the seas about Japan's homeland, steadily cutting down her remaining power to wage war. Sure of their superior strength, carrier forces boldly attack Tokyo and run down Jap convoys along the sea route between Nipponese supply bases and enemy troops in Borneo, Singapore, and other isolated garrisons. It's dirty going in these winter gales, but through storm or calm, they're out to cut the enemy's lifeline. Planes warm up for a hazardous takeoff through wind and rain. Over the target, they go in for the kill. But the main target is Tokyo itself. Here, the supply lifeline is cut at its source. Planes from Admiral Mitcher's famous Task Force 58 conquer fighter plane opposition. Navy and Marine pilots in 3 days destroy 817 Jap planes. We lost but 9 fighters. Navy combat cameramen filmed these dramatic scenes of the attack on the heart of Japan, a strike that first hit Tokyo in the early morning hours when her armament plants were buzzing with industry. This is what the boys call the Mitcher shampoo. A huge aluminum plant is the next customer to get the hot towel. Daring attacks such as this crippled Japan's entire war industry.
All around the world, climactic events were swiftly gaining momentum. Our Ninth Army, under General Simpson, crossed the Rhine on the 2nd of March. 4 days later, General Hodge's First Army occupied Cologne. 4 days after that, 300 of our superfortresses blasted Tokyo. By the 17th of the same month, General Patton's Third Army had taken Koblenz. The next day, and half a world away, our troops invaded Panay Island in the central Philippines. 3 days after that, Patton's Third Army crossed the Rhine. 4 days later, General Eichelberger's Eighth Army was landing on Cebu in the Philippines. Less than a week after that, on the 1st of April, 1945, the United States 10th Army, under General Simon Buckner, invaded Okinawa. On the 11th of the same month, the 2nd Armored Division of the 9th Army reached the Elbe, only 63 miles from Berlin. On the 12th of April, death took the Commander-in-Chief, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He had lived to see the triumphant advances of American arms, but fate had denied him the satisfaction that final victory would bring.
In the cabinet room of the White House, Harry S. Truman was sworn in as president. On the very eve of victory and its disturbing aftermath, his was the heavy duty of carrying on with the leaders of America's allies.
On the final lap of their drive on Berlin, Russian troops under Marshals Zhukov and Rosakovsky send the Germans reeling. Cossacks are in action, too. In every city and town, the Nazis fight back with furious desperation. The foe must be wiped out building by building, street by street. Nazi rearguard action is fanatical as they try to stem the red tide. Another bag of Nazis is moved to the rear, and the townsfolk sees a chance denied them for years. The protection of red soldiers is all that saves the prisoners from a vengeful people. Left in the wake of the onrushing Reds is the ruined city of Warsaw, scene of an indescribable 5-year reign of terror. During occupation, even trolleys were for Germans only. The immortal Chopin's home was systematically destroyed in demented defeat. But at last, the exiled population, those still alive, are able to return to the shells of their former homes. For once more, the Polish flag flies over Warsaw.
Mussolini is dead, and a howling mob in Milan, where fascism was born, provides the sordid finale as it attempts to vent its rage on the body of sawdust Caesar and his followers, executed a short time before by Italian partisans after a summary trial. Signal Corps cameras record the blind fury of a people whom he led to disaster after promising them an empire through 20 strutting and corrupt years. The final degradation. Mussolini and his mistress hang from the rafters of a gas station as Taracci, one of his hangmen, goes up. There are none to mourn. The sawdust has run out of Caesar.
Less than a month after President Roosevelt's death, Germany surrendered. Hitler was dead by his own hand.
President Truman officially announces the end of German resistance.
This is a solemn but glorious hour. I wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day. General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe. For this victory, we join in offering our thanks to the Providence which has guided and sustained us through the dark days of adversity and into light.